Can a bad marriage be fixed after the birth of children? Well, a marriage can be saved if the couple together has the will to save it. Sometimes one spouse has no more desire to stay married. In such situations, all the effort of one spouse cannot be enough to save the marriage. But where both spouses desire to stay married, to remedy the dysfunctions in themselves and in their relationship, and to seek for a happier life together than apart, it can be done. It is typically a slow and laborious process, especially at first, but it can be done. Quite often, a couple may seek to save their marriage for the sake of their children, and thus they do so out of senses of obligation or guilt. But this derives from them being decent people. People who don't care about the needs of others don't feel guilty when they fail or refuse to meet those needs. One's love for one's children can often be an external motivation for change when it's hard to find internally any reason for or the strength to try to change. Two guilty people who have the courage to admit to their wrongs take the first step forward to righting them. One remorseful spouse who has the courage and humility to admit his or her failings to his or her innocent spouse, and who is shown forgiveness and grace by that spouse, is on the right track as well. Some people take their marriages and their spouses and their families for granted. Some abuse their marriages, abuse their spouses and families, whether that be physically, sexually, financially, emotionally, or some combination of the various forms of abuse. Abusive and neglectful people can change, but if they refuse to change, they aren't spouses who deserve to remain spouses. Parents whose children are better off without them are those who are abusive or neglectful parents. But others may end up neglecting his or her spouse and or children to one degree or another without even realizing they are doing it. They may be so concerned about providing for the family's basic needs that they forget to take time to give hugs and kisses and compliments, to attend a baseball or soccer game, to go for a walk or out for dinner. What's tragic about these situations is that it was never this spouse's intention to hurt anyone, and yet he or she is still resented, oftentimes without even being aware of it until it's too late. The more one feels resistant to change, the more one usually needs to make change. Oftentimes, however, the change need not be a major one. Change for the better and marriage and family are what our lives are all about. The home is the first and most effective place to learn the lessons of life: truth, honor, virtue, self-control, the value of education, honest work, and the purpose and privilege of life. Nothing can take the place of home in rearing and teaching children, and no worldly success can compensate for failure in the home. That's from David O. McKay.